Hey traders, my name is Shegun Chat247 and I train traders how to trade in harmony with the market. This is the second episode of these videos that I started doing today. And in the last video, we spoke about the price, the wave structure, and how the price is the collective perception of traders. And I briefly explained the concept of the manipulation high and the manipulation lows, how the momentum high can give us information when a change is happening in the market, like a trend changing pattern. Okay. And I said that in this video, I'm going to show us the pattern at which we trade this manipulation highs and manipulation lows. So let's say this is a manipulation low, this line here. This is pattern A to buy, okay? A breakdown, a pullback, and an attempt to go below, but failure to take that low. If we have a buy signal here, we're going to take it. The other one is this, the first breakdown, price pullback, and it breaks this first break. Then we're not going to take this. We'll wait for the third break, okay? And an attempt. So we're going to repeat here after the third, this that happened there after the third break. An attempt. Sometimes they will even go lower below here. Okay, that's still valid. Then we can take the trade with our entry. That's to buy. To sell is the opposite of what I've just shared with us. Okay, a manipulation high, a break, an attempt that failed to take the high. If you have a sell signal here, you're going to take it. Or the second pattern, pattern B, a break, pullback, and a second break, then we're not going to take this one once we see a second break. We wait for the third break to happen, pull back, and an attempt to take the high. Sometimes they will go above the high, and we can take the trade with the sell pattern. So that's just the pattern. I'm going to be shining more light on this as we go on. So some of the things I'm going to be talking about, the 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 terms the terms or the names that I've given these things, they are not the most important thing. Okay, you could name them anything. This is just the name that makes it easy for me to understand what I need to be doing. Okay, and those terms are not the most important thing. You know, in trading, there uh, there are so many terms that people use for the same thing. Okay, but that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is for you to actually understand the concept. Okay, so I said like I promised in the last class, I'm going to be showing us these things are very simple, and I said something also that this is the most important indicator. I could use something else, but I like every swing, okay, every move in price that doesn't have a volume record is not a valid move. I don't see it as a valid move. Okay, that's just my opinion. Okay, what I'm trying to do is to be able to see a move up that gives me a green area like this. Okay, then I can accept that move to be a swing. It could be a mini swing in a major swing, or it could actually be a longer swing. It doesn't matter. What I'm doing here is I'm trying to draw the waves so that I can count it. Like what I showed us in the example. Let me see if I still have it here. To be able to draw out the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's all I'm interested in. So that I can put an interpretation to these levels, okay? Because I'm looking for information. So we have an example on the euro US dollar from this high that happened yesterday. Price came down, and if as I'm moving this thing down, please keep an eye on this area here. Price came down, we broke a structure. That is why this is a valid low. Okay, this is actually 1 to 3. All right, hold on a minute. This is actually 1 to 3 because before you start drawing down, in this case, you have to find the structure here so that we are able to draw it successfully. Okay, the structure is the simple one that says a higher low that made a higher high or a lower low that made a higher high. Then we accept that as a structure. So this here, okay, that's the last record to the downside. From here, There's no other pullback until here. Okay, then we have this pullback down that had that record, that red there. Okay, and it made a high. So obviously it will be easy to have a zigzag that draws this automatically, but we'll get to that point later. Okay, learning how to do it manually is actually one of the most important things you can do. Okay, so this is a structure. Come on. Okay, that's a structure. We came down, we broke the structure. Okay, and there's a record. So this is 0, 1. There's no pullback here. So we can't see any green area to the upside. So that is not a, we can't say this is a swing. Okay, and that extends to the next one. Then we have this low. Okay, then we have a pullback. We have a record here. I made this one, and we have this move down. So if I want to label this, let's just use the text here. That will be 0. This will be 1 because it breaks the structure. Momentum low 1, then structural point 2, and a momentum low 3. So just to repeat what I said before in the previous video, the momentum price point, we are looking for information. This here, there's no information. If you apply the concept of order flow, price made a low, and I was explaining this in the when I was talking about the price, is a perception of the traders. Here, there's nothing that changed in this move. This is just an ordinary pullback. Okay, a discounting mechanism. This is a secondary trend. Okay, this move, the interpretation of this 1 to 2 is simple. Is simply to explain it in a simple term, is a discounting in price. Okay, it became too low. It does not represent a good value, and they discounted it so that they can sell it at a fairer price to make a new low. And they made a momentum low 3. But this momentum low 3 gave us information because we had a trend changing pattern here. I'm going to enable the swing point so that we can see. We are looking for 3 higher highs. 1, 2, we have a lower higher high here, but this one is higher than this. So we have 3 higher highs. So that is good enough for me. Then this is now what we call a manipulation low. So this is a setup low for me. Okay. And I'm going to withdraw it out. Once we can picture this, we pick it out. This could have been 1. This low could have been 1. It could have been 5 because this one did not complete the wave structure. Okay. So I know that below here, I'm going to be willing to buy using any of these 2 patterns. But because it's 3, and I'm going to say this now, because that manipulation low is 3, the high probability thing that will happen is I'm going to have 3 breaks to below it. Okay, so whenever price gets to that low. So we went into Tokyo session, nothing happened. Then this morning we broke first down. We're going to use the same thing. I don't need to draw all this here. I'm only interested when price breaks down. So from here to here, that's the first break. Okay, so I'm going to hide this again. That's break number 1. Look at this. We don't have a close below here, so I can't count this. I need a close below each swing low. Okay, even though I drew this out because we have the record here, but it's actually not a valid low for us in counting these swings. Okay, so I'm gonna delete this and this, and I'm gonna come all the way down here. That's the second break, and this is the third break, and this is where we are. We want to buy, okay? This is break one. This is break two. And this is the third break. And we just want to follow this, okay? After the third break, we want price to move back up and try to break this low. Sometimes, like I said before, they can try to break this low. One close below here is valid, okay? One candle close below the low is valid, below the 3 low is valid after the pullback. Where we will know that the pullback has taken place is after, this is the second break, okay? And this is the third break. Is if we have a volume reference and momentum to the upside, then we can say the pullback is in place. Then we are now waiting for a move down. Simple entry method that we use is we use the color candle. The sole purpose of the color candle is to enter the trade. And if to buy, we're waiting for an aqua bar after this move now. So basically what we're expecting is this. So we expect this to pull back. Wherever it goes, okay, pull back and try to come back down. It could break this low, but it must not break it with two candles. If it breaks it and close two candles below, we will scratch this trade. But if it comes here and we start to see an aqua candle like this somewhere here, a close above it will be our buy. Okay, then we can talk about targets later. So an example of the trades that we took this morning using the same method is in the pound US dollar. You can see all the lines are still there. Okay, so we identify this as a manipulation high. Why? Because this was a structure that was broken. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and this 3 gave us this 1, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I said before, the minimum requirement is 3 lower lows for this eye to become a manipulation eye. So we add a breakup. This is a good example. From this, we had a breakup. That's first break. We had a pullback, M pattern, and an attempt to go up, which failed to take the high of the first break. So now we are looking for a blue candle. Okay, do we have a blue candle? Just keep an eye on this. You can see we don't have any blue candle here, but on this is our blue candle. So your entry is here. Below this blue candle, which candle closed below? This one. So that's your sell entry. And that's where we sold it at the close of that candle. Okay, and your stop loss comes above here. And that was the sell. Okay, that took us all the way down here. This is where I closed the trade because I'm not going to talk about the Fibonacci here because that's a different class entirely. We use that for targets also, but we can target here. That's the ultimate target without using any tool. You ask yourself, the swing that created the beginning, the origin, okay, the starting point of the wave structure that gave us the manipulation eye will be your target. The starting point of the wave structure that gave us the manipulation low will be your target. In this euro US dollar, where is the euro US dollar now? Here, okay, that's the starting point. If we take this trade, this will be our target without using any other tool to determine that. Is that okay? So let me just continue on the pound. Okay, and that was the second entry which I missed because I was doing school run around that 8:30 this morning. Okay, and I just let it go, but that's okay. You don't have to chase it, and that's one of the things I'm going to be talking about, not chasing the market. If you are there when it happens, take the trade. Once the trade leave the area that we've deemed to be the best area, your best area is above the manipulation high or when the second pass came in, okay, or below the manipulation low. If for example the euro US dollar after the third break, okay. I'm going to be explaining this as time goes on. All right. So another example of the trade I took last night is in the card US dollar Canadian dollar. Okay, so we have a, let me just remove the drawings. We have a manipulation high here. Why is it a manipulation high? Let's do it again. Let's draw the, you're looking for this swing that ended here. You are looking for the last structure, and the last structure is here. This is the lower high. It's actually this one. So that's the high. Why am I using that? Make it easy. That's the high. I made this low. Okay, and price came up. We have a pullback inside here. This is a very good example of what I was explaining before, how you draw your wave structure. So in theory, we can do this 0 ABC, and that will be 1. That CI will be 1. Then pullback is 2. Okay, let's draw it out. This will be momentum I number 1. You can change the color, but we don't need to waste time on that. This will be 0. This will be 2, which is a structural point. This is 3, which is a momentum high. This is 4, which is a structural point. And as you can see, we could draw the swings, but we don't need to do that. Just look down. Every move down that has a red area, that printed this red area, is a valid swing that we can draw as our wave. Okay. Remember, I said the price move in trends and the trends move in wave. This is an example of an uptrend. Okay. And this is the last, which is the momentum I5 that actually gave us the information. And the information we had here that was that the price, the market makers or whoever they are, the dynamic traders, they're willing to sell if price come above here. Okay, don't take my word for it. This is a trade I took last night. All my trades are recorded. The video is somewhere. Let me see if I can bring it out. I don't need to do that now. We can get into that later. So we label this as a manipulation I, okay? And the simple is we want to sell after a break. And the sell is this, okay? The pattern that we follow is either this one or this. It's all about being patient, okay? So when price gave us this information at the 5, we enable the swing point, and we can see after 5 we have 3 lower lows. That's good enough for us, and that makes this a manipulation I. This is not a manipulation I because we don't have that same information. This is not a manipulation I because we don't have that same information. But on 5, when momentum I5 was printed, we had the information, and this is the trade. You see here we have this low, higher low that made a high. Okay, look at this, and it came down with that low. Okay, so that's the first break, and it moved down, and the price came all the way down. Okay, it stopped there, and it started trading back up. We saw an area that formed green one. But this is very interesting. This is where your money comes in. This did not break this eye. So that pattern is your pattern A for the bearish move. Yeah. An attempt here, we see a sell. What did I tell you to do? A sell is valid. If we have a sell signal, our sell signal is a blue candle and a close below the blue candle. And this is your entry here because that's the candle that closed below the blue candles. And that's your sell. Your stop loss comes above there. Stop loss. Okay. And that's your trade. And I close the trade here because the end of the day that gives us 0 ABC, momentum low 1, pullback, structure 2, and momentum low 3. I closed the trade around 9:45 last night, okay, on this candle, because we know if you've been trading for a while, this is the time that the brokers will have fun with you if you don't close your open trade, okay. And we closed it there, and the price, and that was actually a good decision because the price didn't do anything throughout this Tokyo session, and we are still trading sideways, okay. And that's a winning trade. That is the if you measure it from the time I closed it, it's not big, but that's 50 pips, okay, from just doing that. All right. This morning, the trade we took on the pound dollar with the same method yielded. Let me just use that's the entry there. Okay. At the close of that candle, 76 pips before the London session even commenced. Okay. And that's your trade. And that's the way we trade it. And the one that's current, I'm going to go through this if we have the time. I don't want to make this too long. The euro US dollar, we've not seen any record, so this is still going. As soon as it start giving us a green area to the upside in this weighted volume and momentum, then we know this the move, the third break is finished. Okay, then we can start looking for this move to happen. This hasn't happened because we don't have a green move. You just have to be patient with this. Okay, that is a simple way of doing it. I'm going to be, this is our bread and butter. So if you continue, if you stick with me, if you continue to watch this video, the more you see it, because we're going to be dealing with different, these are the Wednesday pairs that we're going to be looking at. Okay, let's just check another one. This is the one that I identified yesterday, but it has been invalidated. Why? Because price trade above the beginning of the wave structure that gave us the manipulation low. Okay, that was the invalidation. So I can no longer take this as a manipulation low trade. Okay, remove Aussie dollar. We have a manipulation high that we've identified this morning. Why is this a manipulation high? Look at that. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No information at the 3, no information at the 1, but the 5. If I do this, we can see we have 1, 2, 3. That's good enough. If you don't want to count this because it's higher to this, any of this is valid because price did not make a new higher high above it. Okay, this is a valid manipulation high. If price did not take below trade below here before breaking this high, the setup is still valid. All we have to do is to do this, is to go there, look for the pattern, which one is coming in, and we can take the trade and execute the trade flawlessly. Okay, this is a simple approach to how we set up. Okay, there's one thing in identifying the wave structure. You need to be able to find the one that gives you information, and the information we are looking for is a trend changing pattern. And a simple way of explaining a trend changing pattern is to use this swing point indicator and see if a high gives you 3 lower lows or more, then that high is no longer is an ordinary momentum high. That means there's something that has changed in the market. The information we derive from a manipulation high is that next time price come above there, we want to be a seller. We don't want to think about anything. If we have a wave structure down and any of the momentum lows gives us 3 higher highs, okay, that now becomes a manipulation low that when price gets there, the next time price gets there, we don't want to sell it. Instead, we want to look for our pattern and buy the market if if the market allows us to buy. And these price points, they are the most profitable areas that I have found to be area of execution. Okay, there's so many things we can learn as time goes on, but I want to keep this focused on this concept. The Wave of Success methodology has taken me, I think, almost 8.5 years in terms of putting them together, because these are knowledge that have been derived from many concepts, learning from different teachers, learning from different fantastic traders, and I've brought this from here, that from there, and make it to work. It has cost me a lot of money, you know, but at the end of the day, the goal is to be consistent. And we've got to a point now that we have something that is actually very consistent. And this way of trading, if you execute it flawlessly or correctly, the way I'll be teaching you, your average will be 7 out of 10. Okay, and I'm not saying that we're going to be seeing it together. Your average should be 7 out of 10 when you understand how to do this properly, and not mixing it with more ideas or indicator. I know that's very difficult to do, especially for people that have been trading for a long time. You don't want to just abandon what you know. I'm not asking anybody to do that. Okay. But this is something that as time goes on, only time will tell. I'm not going to be posting every day because I'm busy, but the goal is to be able to at least put minimum of 2 or 3 videos a week, and it starts to build up like that. As week goes on, the month goes on, we have a collection of videos that will serve as a good reference for people to actually draw out from the knowledge that I'm sharing here. Okay, and this is basically it. The goal is to trade the euro US dollar this afternoon. So probably the next video we will have a live execution trade that we can take together today. And if anything else develop in the Aussie dollar or any other one that I manage to find this afternoon, then we can take those trades. My name is Shogun, Chat247 as always. Trade safe and God bless. Take care.